All right, ladies and gents, welcome to what should be a crazy series here. We got two teams who are so well known for their team prowess in Age of Empires 2. Two teams who've been around a long time. In SAX Nations Cup, this is now an elimination match. Both these teams lost their first round, and the losing team will fall into the 7th and 8th place position in this event and be out. The winning team goes to the quarterfinals and still stays alive here. So, bit of an elimination match. We've got ACCM as the pocket for Vietnam. He is accompanied by Hope. Hope is in the blue. I'm actually going to change this to Hope just because people won't know what I'm talking about. Hope is playing as the Mayans. Down here, we've got Bad Boy, who's come back for this tournament. A really solid player. He's playing as the Koreans. Going to go immediately to the north because this seems to be a theme this weekend. The Mayans being picked for the flank and the Mayans being used to try and lame. Canada, we've got Mentalist. Mentalist playing as Ethiopians. We have Chris. The Chris. He changed his name to I Am Chris instead of his smooth Chris he had last week. Guys, this guy's like late 30s, similar to Doubt. He and Doubt were competing to be number one back in the mid-2000s. Isn't that crazy? He doesn't play 1v1 tournaments anymore. He does play ranked occasionally, and he's like 2,400 elo. And it's so good for the game to see him playing. I mean, Mentalist also is like probably mid-30s. He's been around a long time. And then you got Slam as well down here for Canada. He's playing as the Chinese. Now, we have to pay attention to this. Also, there was a lion that attacked the villager initially from Hope. So Hope is trying to sneak, and Mentalist is not letting this sneak get away right now. But from what we've seen, the Mayan player, I mean, they already start with the extra Vil. So they're really just hoping to delay the opponent with that extra Vil and make things messy. But we've also seen the villager wall up gold and stuff. So it doesn't seem like Hope's going to be able to realistically do that right now. Spectre says, I'm 40 and still play. Okay, but are you 40 and still playing top 8 team game Age of Empires? Not trying to call you out, but I think it's cool to see a player like Chris still being around, still showing up. When Canada calls, these three show up, and they've performed so well for Canada in the past. But, you know, this tournament, last time around, I think last 2 times, depending what tournament you're talking about, they had Hera, right? And Hera's not playing for them this tournament, so we'll see who they can have for the 4v4 later on. It's most likely Survivalist. Hope goes home. A little bit of laming done. I would say that it definitely made the start awkward for Mentalist. More awkward than he would have wanted, but he should be okay. And on this side, Slam has not been lamed or anything, so he's had a pretty smooth start with Chinese. So lots of gold towards the middle. This is the big focus long term. You do still have gold around your TC. Usually you see a lot of walling at the top, and then eventually army fighting to the middle. But you could send archers to the outside. You could send archers to the middle. You can only go to the middle until you chop through, of course. King J, I think Slam will still compete in 1v1 events, but he just doesn't... Slam doesn't play as much as he used to. And Mentalist, actually, it's kind of the opposite. Mentalist just wasn't playing for years. Mentalist has had a pretty active year. He reached 2,400 on the ladder recently. And if you look at the times that a lot of people are watching Age of Empires, so like 8, 9, 10 p.m. Eastern, you'll normally see Mentalist in queue playing some games. But Slam hasn't really been playing as many 1v1s. Having said that, I saw him playing a couple 1v1s yesterday, so it's just like, I guess it depends what level of grind you're looking to see. I was curious if we'd see a fast castle or if we'd see scouts. This seems like this could be a fast castle from ACCM. And then we have a barracks from Chris, so Chris is going to go scouts. So Chris is going to support Slam. Canada really like to do this. They haven't really had their pocket players, and most of these maps go for the safe approach and the fast castle approach. It's normally been lots of army. And I like this. If you have the Hindustanis, their scouts break through buildings pretty fast, and Chinese Hindustanis combining in Feudal Age could be really strong here. Slam doing his best here to get his archer range and his walls down. Bad Boy's being a bit of a pain. Slam, you don't want to lose that scout. But now Chris is here, and Slam will lose his scout. A little sloppy, honestly. Slam's range comes up. Range is coming up for Bad Boy as well. Remember, we are not going to see army for ACCM right away. So ACCM will not support there. And then over here, most likely some archers for Hope. And it will be the same for Mentalist. Now, initially, it was supposed to be this map as the third game. If you watch the other sets, you probably remember that. But Canada's fourth player, again, I'm assuming this is Survivalist. He's from Japan. So I don't know if it's a time zone issue or something happened. But anyways, Canada didn't have a fourth to play the 4v4, which was supposed to be game one. So the admins asked ACCM, they were like, can we switch the order? Can we do 3v3 first? And then do 4v4 third? And Vietnam was fine with it. So I bring this up because this is like, this map is way more complicated than 4v4 Arena. So, and getting momentum is huge. Double range from Hope. Just one range from Mentalist. And Mentalist is also, well, there's his second range, but he's going to drop the stone walls, which is not the first time we've seen this. I really like the approach. And also Chris, not supporting Slam side. He is actually supporting Mentalist side right now. Man, I was getting so annoyed when I wasn't seeing stone walls from teams yesterday. It's such a small area to wall up, and then you're so much safer. I think it's such a good move. So I'm happy to see it there. Doesn't look like Vietnam are doing that. Oh, never mind. We do have some stone walls here as well. Like, the fact that you could place the stone wall and then still have enough for the second TC is great. And once you get the walls down like this, Bad Boy knows that it's all about chopping through to the middle. And we'll see if Slam realizes that. Because Slam almost looks like... See, he lost his scout, guys. So he might not really get an idea of what's happening there. Scouts from Canada aren't really accomplishing much right now, right? Like, they're not attacking any of these walls. Vietnam's playing very safe with their archers on the flanks. And so I'm not really sure the scout approach has done much except make maybe Mentalist feel a little bit more safe. But it's been kind of a rough start for Mentalist, guys. I've noticed he's gotten housed a bunch of times. And obviously he was lamed at the start there too. His eco isn't what it could be. I personally prefer Hope's position, especially with the Mayans and having the extra villager. It's actually 3 villager lead over Mentalist right now. And then here comes Slam with his archers. No fletching for Slam. Again, no scouts. We do have fletching, and then Koreans also get the free armor upgrade for Bad Boy. So he's pretty much just playing it the safe approach. Knows exactly where Slam would arrive if Slam is going to arrive. And Slam shows up. And Slam gets spotted. Takes a bit of damage and backs away. Castle Age is in now for ACCM. ACCM drops TC number 2. He has no army right now, but he will add a scout. I think he's just going to try and snag as many relics as possible. Like, if he can get a couple relics before there's a lot of Castle Age army on the field, that could be really strong. Also, this Spearman from Mentalist has been all around the map here, which is kind of funny. Slam versus Bad Boy. I think I would favor Slam in these engagements normally. And Slam proves me right here. I mean, he's got the hill, and he had some really nice runner micro there. I think economically, the Chinese are far superior here the longer this goes. But Koreans have the cheaper units, and Koreans get the extra armor. Plus, you can always, like, sneak in a couple guard towers. Maybe some siege. Slam going to drop the market, try and click up. His food economy is actually not great. Bad Boy's got 17 on food. Slam's got 5. So something went wrong there with Slam's build order. Hopefully he can at least click up. Like, if he can click up, things are going to be fine. But buying food and buying resources is a little bit expensive right now. Scouts here from Chris. Now, this is something that Chris could have maybe been done a little bit earlier. I guess he just was able to get to the middle, and he wasn't able to deny ACCM's TC. Archers from Bad Boy are actually moving forward. It's like Chris has rewalled this so the archers can't sneak in. Here, there's a wall as well from Mentalist. Mentalist still hasn't clicked up, and then we have Hope on the way to Castle Age. Hope has had a really good game. He's had a really smooth game. And Hope is like kind of new kid on the block compared to all these guys. Like Bad Boy's been around a long time. Again, he recently returned just for this tournament. But in his peak, he was top 20, top 30 1v1s. ACCM's top 10. Hope is like 2,300, 2,400. I would say Hope is probably like top 60 right now. But has gotten better this year. And, you know, like a lot of players, up-and-coming players, getting better and better as they go. I also am a little bit more infatuated with this player ever since his performance in Regicide Rumble. So he doesn't have the best of English, but he clearly used Google Translate to get like diplomatic lines set, and then he was just copy pasting the diplomacy stuff into the chat in Regicide Rumble 5, which I thought was so funny. It was very clear that he was copy pasting from Google Translate. But, I mean, it was smart because how many people don't have good diplomacy? All of Canada's here, guys. All of Canada are here to attack Bad Boy. There is a hole there. And remember, no army from ACCM to support right now. He's just being greedy with the eco. That could have been bad. I mean, this still could be bad for Bad Boy. Bad Boy's got an army here. He's 30 seconds away from Castle Age. There is a hole. The light cover through. And how far does Canada want to dive here? This is basically all coming back to the fact that ACCM has been such a greedy player so far. Now, it's a team approach to do this, but this is so dangerous, guys. If 3 armies from Canada get into the back of your base, sure, you might have the middle, but this is not going to be easy for you. And the light cap from Chris busts down the house, and Canada all working together are going to force Bad Boy into a panic here. And this army could go a million different directions as well. The light cap are going to dive on the villagers building the TC. Villagers went down on the farms. TC's obviously going to complete with this many vills, but heavy, heavy losses. And now they can send their armies over to the back of ACCM's base. So now ACCM needs to prepare for this. There's also the army from Hope here. Hope, ooh, Hope killed 5 villagers. Or I guess 3 villagers from Mentalist. Mentalist is really far behind this game. He's 10 villagers behind Hope right now. But Slam is pretty far ahead of Bad Boy. And I would expect that to only get greater. Bad Boy's just having a really tough time trying to decide on where he goes right now. Chris a little sloppy with some of this army. He's still trying to coordinate with the light cav and the crossbowman here. And Chris won't have an answer to the crossbows because he can only make camels. That's the weakness of the Hindustanis here. Meanwhile, ACCM starting to make knights. We'll see if he can defend this on his own. He did end up getting 3 relics, guys. So he's got +3 attack on those Lithuanian knights solely because he brought in the relics. And honestly, his wood eco, his gold eco, his food eco, largely protected by the TCs. It's not like he has a lot of exposed economy back here. And Chris will snipe a villager. ACCM will need to keep garrisoning and idling a lot of this eco. But it's the same for Chris over here. And Chris almost needs Slam to come deal with this, or Mentalist. Someone's got to get over there. These knights don't have full armor yet. So without the armor, you could have some problems. But here comes Bad Boy to help. It feels like Vietnam might be able to deal with that. But then Bad Boy, if his crossbows are there, he's not competing for any of the map control where the gold is. And Slam quickly having a killer game here for Canada. And he needs to, like, Slam needs to carry this team right now. He needs crazy crossbow micro. He needs to have army everywhere. Because it's tough for Chris. Like, Chris can't kill this yet. And ACCM is clearly ahead of where Chris is at. Mentalist and Slam combining. This is before armor comes in. It's actually really good value to take those fights right now. And now this pressure is going to hit Hope. This is good damage. Because Hope has a lot more villagers exposed here. Still no gold access in the middle for Bad Boy. I think we might see a Desperation Castle at some point because he's only got like 500 gold remaining. Maybe a couple guard towers. Nice job from Mentalist and from Slam to work together back here, but it was always going to end at some point. I love the value, though, that they've gotten from the attacks. They've hit all 3 players, and this opens up opportunities for them in the middle. Now Canada's going to combine in the middle because Hope has to worry about his own base. And Bad Boy's still chasing all the way back here, trying to clear this up. And, guys, Slam is flying right now. He's getting Thumb Ring. He's had perfect micro. His micro is so good. The hit and run is so consistent. And then they also have this army, but this army will not stop ACCM's castle. ACCM one's latest now. And Slam is going to get cleared up in the end. All that army for Vietnam will head to the middle, but Canada does have more military right now. And let's see if they can push it. I still think going with Knights is better because you can just produce them faster. 4 relics for ACCM, so he's got +4 attack because of the relics, and he researched forging. His Knights are crazy strong. But is it still good enough to fight against camels? Hindustani camels diving for the TC here. Chris is like, come on. Show me what you've got. Show me the army. We've got tons of army from Mentalist. Mentalist 30 crossbows. This is with Ethiopians. And Hope comes out to save his TC and to take golds again. And now he's running into the Ethiopians. Slam is here as well. Bad Boy just able to find an opportunity to come out to that gold. I think Canada are going to make a big play to just keep Vietnam off of gold. Bad Boy's dropping a tower, which I think is so needed here because he knows Siege is going to be coming out from Slam. That's a really good call. But really, for me, it's can Hope continuously take gold and get the crossbowman numbers back up here. Because Mentalist is kind of all in. He's only at 45 vills. He's got 40 crossbows. I'd like to see Mentalist make more ranges towards the middle. It's like these ranges are kind of affecting his production right now. And we have Forging coming in from Chris just for a little bit more firepower. There's 20 Knights for ACCM, but we're not seeing them all on screen yet. Canada have an army lead, but is it going to be enough when they're down 40 villagers right now? ACCM's doing a good job to dodge some of these shots. Bad Boy focused here. Bad Boy gets destroyed. Now, because of the free armor, he didn't lose as much as he could have. And what great micro. I mean, this is a player who's not very active right now. That's crazy micro from Bad Boy. Because Hope probably wants a castle in front of this gold. Will he be able to? ACCM's building up a dangerous, dangerous Knight mass right now. Now, this is interesting. ACCM is leaving his own base. He's leaving Hope alone. Hope thinks he could maybe defend with the siege. Canada's going to dive ACCM's base. Slam is taking losses here. Slam could have some big problems. With those many Knights coming in, or that many Knights coming in, he's not going to be okay. The Knights from ACCM get through. There was an overchop for Mentalist. They run through. Mentalist needs to deal with that now. And I think you could tell Canada are falling apart. Chris was clearly told that there were Knights somewhere, so he sent his camels back directly into the crossbows. And now the Knights are here, and the castle is going down for Vietnam. And this TC, which was such a secure area at one point for Slam, is now a huge vulnerability. His vills are getting sliced up. I mean, Mentalist needs so much help. And it seems like Vietnam are extending their lead now. You should be okay if you're Hope to mass enough crossbows with ACCM to kill this. So this army's just running away. There's very little momentum now for Canada. Soon it's going to be very little gold for Canada if they don't like maybe castle this one. And Bad Boy's going to come with more. Bad Boy's going to drop another castle combined with the siege, combined with maybe a few war wagons. And ACCM's got like 30 Knights here, guys. I think I'm not seeing Canada have big opportunities here unless they stop this castle. This is their best potential to come back into the game. If they can set Bad Boy back, deny this castle, maybe they've got a chance. And they're going to deny it. Well done. Slam's castle will go up. But, oh, man, the big fight here. The Knights are so strong. The siege is there as well. Good luck, Mentalist. How are you supposed to take any good engagements in this fight? It's a full clear. Mentalist loses his army. And Hope is on the way to Imp. ACCM is on the way to Imp. And then for Canada, just Chris is on the way to Imp. So, we've talked about it. Now, this is now the third time we've talked about it this weekend. I'm assuming you guys watched the games yesterday. And basically, I do find that camels, they obviously counter knights, right? But they can be weak if the opponent crossbow players are in a good spot. In this case, it's that, because you have Hope playing like a god. But I think it's also the fact that these knights are just on steroids here because of all the extra attack from the relics. So, like, if Knights have 10 plus 5 attack, that is Slam's MTC. If they have this much attack, they can take out the MTC, and they can take out the camels. Now, he doesn't know that's the MTC, so he's just going to go fight the army. But that's dangerous. If Slam doesn't make it to Imp, they are indeed dead. Because at least Slam could maybe make trebs from his castle to push this back. But yeah, ACCM is just taking fights non-stop because he has so much faith due to all this attack. And it's good engagement after good engagement for them. Here, Mentalist tries to come back into it. Still, more knights from ACCM. More crossbows from Hope. And, dude, Vietnam are just looking so freaking clean, dude. They're fast. They're clean. They're like, sharp with their timings. Strategically seems really smart. Also, Bad Boy took some crazy losses in this game. Like, what a comeback from him. To get all this gold, to have so much army. That's impressive. I think that's maybe the most impressive thing Vietnam has done, is just having their flanks stay in it, as ACCM was essentially greedy. You're expecting ACCM to be in a good spot, considering he went straight boom with no army. But then again, maybe even then we're understating what ACCM has done here, because ACCM is at 140 vills, and he's played perfectly. Army's supporting all the time. And here comes Hope now. Mentalist still in Castle Age. Mentalist hasn't clicked up. And so if he isn't an Imp, he is certainly dead. He'll place a Panic Castle. This castle will keep him in the game. But now ACCM is finding kills in the back of Chris's base. And Canada are just falling apart here. Vietnam are on fire. We've got more towers from Bad Boy. He'll start to treb down Slam. Slam will try and treb him back a little bit. But it's going to be Paladin for ACCM in 90 seconds. And the GG's called. And Finland... Finland? Sorry. How do I even get Finland? I'm so sorry. Vietnam, they take the first game. Sorry, Finland coming up next. And for whatever reason, Finland was on my mind. That's a little embarrassing. So, wow. I mean, the story of the game for me was Canada went triple army in Feudal Age. And they didn't really find a lot of benefit. Slam was very passive on the flank. You had Mentalist relatively passive on the flank as well. The scouts for Chris... It was a little confusing. It was like he didn't know where to be. Initially, he was here. I think that he sent his scouts here to support Mentalist because Mentalist was worried he was behind after the lame. But they were never able to accomplish anything here. And by the time the scouts got to the middle, ACCM had already walled up his TC, and ACCM was already protected from them. Now, what they did do is they did find really good value against Bad Boy. But I think Hope had an excellent game. I mean, Mayans feel a bit better economically than Ethiopians. Maybe it was that. But he had an excellent game when compared to Mentalist. And then ACCM was far ahead of Chris. Bad Boy just needed to kind of stay alive. And he did more than that. He came back and posed a pretty big threat there to Slam. So, nice start here for Vietnam. Obviously, it's a best of 5. We will move to 1v1s next as well. But Canada actually still searching for their first win here in the main event. They were one of the 4 invited teams. There was a little bit of controversy on that, right? Because, like, Canada performed so well in the past because they had Hera on the team. Hera not playing for them this tournament, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Canada still hasn't won a game. That's the storyline. And Vietnam now up 1-0. Beast of a game from ACCM. That's what you want. If you're Vietnam, you want ACCM full of confidence because the 1v1 portion comes up next. All right. So here we are, game number 2. Now, obviously a big deal. Let's just fix the flags real quick here for Canada. Canada has not won a game yet this tournament, which is kind of the sad thing. And it's do or die in this match. We're just going to do group stage because that's just blocking that. Basically, main thing to know here is whoever plays this 1v1 cannot play in the 2v2 in game 4. But I think for that to be worth it, to miss out on Slam, Canada, they need a Slam victory here. If Slam wins this, then, it's pretty big news. 1-1, and then ACCM, Vietnam's best player, not available come game 4. But if Slam loses, then it's looking tough for Canada today, and they might just crash out in 8th place. Slam is playing the Berbers. I really like this div. You have the slightly faster villagers and ships. That can be helpful. But then I think getting to Camel Archers is the goal. These players are really close together here, though. Like, they're very close together towards the center of the map. Slam is docked the west side. And then ACCM more towards the east. Both have plenty of fish around. But we'll see what happens more on land because ACCM is right next to a boar, right? And, like, that could be a boar that Slam is counting on taking right now. There's going to need to be some level of adaptation here for Slam. But he will get some information early. He should lose this. Okay, so now he should know that ACCM is there. And, oh, man, I mean, if he can snag this boar, everyone in Canada is going to hear roaring and cheering in the streets. Okay, maybe not. It's not like this is like, you know, Spain in the World Cup or something. But, oh, dude, that's huge. So he gains a boar, and then he also steals the boar from ACCM, and ACCM's like, huh? ACCM chasing that for a second and realizing that boar is gone. So nice. That's huge for Slam here. I was actually really worried about his food income. So he'll have that, and then he'll also have this boar down here. If he wanders out here, he has another boar, and then there's another boar way down here. But at least 2 boars for Slam. ACCM is going to snag this one, and then if he scouts, he can find this one. Should be at least 2 boars for him as well. Plus, he's got the deer. Obviously, there's still the fish. So I think both players should have pretty solid Dark Ages here. But so far, ACCM, he should know that Slam is down here because the boar went this direction. I think he also might have lost a sheep here. And he also knows that Slam hasn't docked anywhere close to him in the north because he hasn't lost a turkey to the villager. What about Slam's knowledge? Slam doesn't know much about the shoreline at all. And he does know that ACCM's there. So, guys, like, this is castle drop territory. If they're this close to each other, going fast castle drop is now not out of the question for either. If I were to make a prediction right now, I would predict that we might see castle v castle right next to someone's TC. And, I mean, there's stone accessible. There's gold accessible for either that isn't, like, a resource that they're necessarily going to be starved for. Slam can see this and this, for example. If he misses out, he doesn't want to take this stone. He also has this stone as an option. Usually, though, you do see a lot of competing for water. And Bengali ships regenerate. So that kind of helps there in the Fire Galley War. And then Bengalis also get 2 extra vills from their TCs when they make it to each age. So Bengalis are definitely the better economic civ here. That's why I think against Slam needs to rely on getting that castle up. We'll see. I have done Camel Archer versus Ratha enough times to know that Camel Archer still seems the stronger one there. But Ratha can be used in more scenarios, right? Because you can shift them into melee mode, which can be helpful in some niche cases. Yeah, we'll see. I think Slam has been spotted. This goose or turkey he just gained from ACCM. Yep, now ACCM knows that his dock is over there. And ACCM already has done a great job with scouting. Like, he already knew that Slam wasn't close to him. ACCM bringing in a boar right now. Might need to quick wall and house trick this. I'm actually not worried at all because it's expected he should do that fine at this day and age. Yeah, he house tricks. He's building the lumber camp, and he's going to go fast feudal here. And Borlor is a little messy. But you only build the lumber camp here for your second feudal age building. He obviously doesn't really need the lumber camp for wood efficiency. He just needs the building, so he's going to drop off the food and click up. And super close. There he goes. He's up. Okay, so he's going to go double dock on water. Slam also built the lumber camp. Slam is also up. And Slamsville actually walk this direction. So Slam does have 5 fishing ships versus the 4 from ACCM, but ACCM will be up a bit faster. And ACCM will also have the regenerating ships, and ACCM also gets the additional builds. So I think if they're going the same build, I prefer ACCM's position. But ACCM is not going to build a second dock where his fish are. He's actually going to walk over here and try and build a dock right next to this. Okay, this is interesting. So the reason for this is ACCM is doing this because he thinks Slam is going fast castle, and he wants to kill the fish as fast as possible. This is hilarious. Actually, this could be good or bad for either player, depending on how it goes. So he is walking over here to build a dock next to Slam, thinking Slam is never going to have a second dock. And Slam's like, huh? And Slam sees that dock now and walks away like he's never seen a thing. Now, you think initially this is good for ACCM, right? Because he's got a dock close to Slam. Well, now he's got 1 dock surrounded by 2. So actually, it's going to be really tough for him to win the fights because, and even defend his fish because his docks are separated. So, yeah, everything ACCM is doing here is because he is concerned about a castle drop. He's even researching Town Watch right now, building outposts, but it's not a castle drop for Slam, not yet. And then I don't know where that villager's going for Slam. Where is she? Did she turn into a turkey? Where did she go? Is this her? He had a Vil walking this way. I think it's her. Coming home. I love this from ACCM. Just building outposts everywhere. And another sneaky dock down here from Slam. But yeah, should be 2 fire galley production defending the fish here. If Slam is in any way worried, though, he could just send his fishing ships to the south. Slam needs to get this fire over here. Fishing ships are moving around. So I'm liking the initiative that ACCM has right now. I hate the little galley approach here. Like, I think it's just so unlikely you're going to find any success because ACCM is going to have fires everywhere. But galleys are your best approach at winning water in full. You just need to get the mass of them. Lots of turkeys for Slam. Also seeing Slam getting slightly pop-capped here. That's not going to help production. His fishing ships obviously aren't collecting food right now as they run away. And ACCM sees they're running this way, so he's going to come this way. And I don't know. We'll see how the micro is for Slam, but he's trying to go kill fish. And so he's just passing. Maybe that's the approach, though. That might actually be good. Still chasing down this fire. Fishing ships are still safe for him. No barracks for Slam. Does Slam see all the outposts around? He doesn't realize how many are out there, which is kind of funny. There's outposts everywhere. And Slam's even going to bring in a boar now. And Slam's fires. Wait, where is Slam? No! His fires have been forgotten! Too many things going on at once here. Including him attacking this villager. But his fishing ships now need to sail away. Oh, and there's a tower from ACCM behind Slam's woodline. Holy crap, this is crazy. And Slam, you could tell, patrolled. And he just patrols into this house. He'd never expected this to be here. He's microing these galleys. Now, I've said it in a lot of different scenarios over the years. Galleys just makes it so much more difficult for you because you have to focus so much more. The Slam is falling behind, but he's not dead. KD is actually 1-0, guys. Isn't that crazy? The Slam didn't find the fish with the galleys. Repositions his woodline. That's fine. I still think the fact that Slam's bringing in that boar, the fact his fish are alive, these are promising signs. The fact that he's Berbers and could still potentially get camel archers, also promising sign. But to me, it's all ACCM right now. ACCM's got so many fires around the map. He's done a great job controlling the game. He's got nice little bits of vision with the outposts everywhere. There should be no surprises. He sees the barracks from Slam and knows, okay, maybe I need my barracks of my own. He's going to drop the outpost. He's going to see the stable from Slam. And he'll know. Maybe Slam goes Knights. Maybe Slam goes Scouts. Really, like, classic nomad approach from ACCM to just get the vision first and then adapt based on that vision. And again, that outpost is just massive. And Slam, oh, he wants so badly to kill these ships. They're so weak. He might end up doing so, though. And his galleys here are desperate for fishing ship kills. It's the reason they were created. And he's not going to be able to get any. ACCM's down here, but there's no fish here. ACCM's up here, but won't kill the fish. Villagers getting chased here. Slam is going to add a scout. For the same reasons, I think Slam adding one scout is still really good. Both players are about to go Castle Age. Having that scout on the field, it gives you lots of information. And Slam gets a villager kill there. And Slam also mops up the fires. And once Slam completes his market, if he can get enough food by buying the food to click up, he could still YOLO onto stone. I would probably attack that outpost. I would hate the fact that outpost is there. I wouldn't want him to know I'm on stone. But I think Slam is just, he wants to get Castle Age more than anything. So he's going to sell his stone and Slam clicks up to the Castle Age. Slight lead for ACCM. And slight lead is still more than enough to be happy with. He's on stone now, so he will definitely think about a castle. He's walling up a little bit just in case there's scouts around. He hasn't killed off Slam's fish in the end, but he's got nice fire galley numbers. He's about to have 8 fire galleys. Slam only has 4. And Slam is going to attack that outpost. Maybe attack it with more than one vill, though, Slam. Take it out fast. It's like he could see this. Stable for ACCM. He's also going to add scouts. But guys, look at the game ACCM is playing. And look at the game Slam is playing. The difference in vision is crazy. It's almost like ACCM is spectating this map right now. Like, he's been everywhere. Really impressive. And it also really affects your decision-making. When you're playing and you run into an outpost everywhere, you're going to second-guess yourself. You're not going to feel like you can do any damage. The Slam sees the stable and the stone miners, at least. So he should know the possibility. ACCM and Castle Age. Will ACCM wait for a castle, or will he drop a town center? I think the War Galley upgrade makes a lot of sense. So you can disrupt and kill on water. I think he'll do so here in a moment. Slam is going to be outnumbered. The Slam still won't find the fish over here. The Slam loses a scout. ACCM getting the light cab upgrade. He's here to protect the outpost. Outpost protection service. Here at the ready. Oh man, light cab are going to be so annoying for Slam. He's probably going to have to make a camel or something here. But there's still other things to look at. You can tell ACCM is distracted. And still hasn't gotten the War Galley upgrade. Still hasn't killed Slam's fish. Here he's dropping a TC on the stone. And here he gets a villager kill. But the light cav are weak. But he's going to make monks. And it feels like ACCM is just pulling ahead. Ever so slightly. And if he can pull ahead to drop a castle right here maybe, where the deer are. Actually, the deer will make it complicated. That could be tough for Slam. What would win the game for ACCM is a castle on this hill. So Slam cannot let that happen. So Slam's had a great game, but it's been an elite game from ACCM. Just controlling the game with confidence. He did wall up over here. Slam moonwalking his way out of that with style. Gotta love that bug, but Slam just hasn't done a lot of damage. Honestly, though, like, the thing to think about, too, though, is Bengalis naturally have so many bonuses that flow nicely. So I think Slam has actually played maybe as good as ACCM, but he didn't get the extra vills, right? He didn't get the extra vills. He doesn't have the repair, the natural healing of the ships. It's been close. It's been really, really close. And with how good ACCM's playing, it's like anytime Slam's going to show up with anything, he seems to be prepared. And uh-oh, big moment. So Slam's going to counterattack on the backside. He's hoping to hit that gold, right? But the monks are prepared. So ACCM, he'll get 2 conversions if Slam doesn't leave. Slam loses 1 knight, runs away. And then here it comes. Now, I talked about the deer earlier. You actually have to... You have to worry about that because the deer could block the castle foundation. Okay. Castle's on the way up. Slam is going to be in a panic here. Slam has to stop this castle. And I don't think he is going to be able to. The castle's being built with enough vills. Slam's knights are looping around, but there's another monk waiting to get conversion. Castle will go up. Thank you, Chad. I am realizing the logo is actually blocking. Sorry. It's annoying. Like, the rules are we have to have a logo up, but then also the format changes game to game, which changes what the logo is blocking. That's my bad. But, honestly, I'm worried for Slam. I don't think this castle goes up. Or if it does go up, it goes up after a lot of losses. He loses another knight here. So there's 2 knights. There's Lightcav. That knight might even get converted. That knight goes down. Slam sending everything to try and complete this castle for Canada. But this is looking horrible here. He's selling off all of his wood to get resources. And, well, the castle goes up. But at what cost? Slam has no fishing ships. ACCM's up to 11. So he's actually been fish booming. It's not like he just killed the fish and kept his 5 alive. He's added more. Man, ACCM is playing so good. He's playing perfect. 3rd TC now. Massing some Ratha. Like, this guy has played an elite Nomad game. So I think Slam has, again, played a good game. I just wonder if, like, right now, I think Slam is regretting not trying to go YOLO Castle Drop in early Castle Age. Because they have played a similar type of game, and ACCM has just been ahead of him. Doesn't mean Slam's approach is wrong. But ACCM has matched him and been ahead of him every step of the way. Now you're hoping Camel Archers are insane. And they are a really good unit. But against Bengali monks, against the potential of the Ratha, I'm not sure it's necessarily good enough. We might see ACCM delete this outpost and just build a castle on that foundation. Yeah, he's also thinking, where am I vulnerable? If I protect the middle and the left side, I'm vulnerable on the right side. So he's dropping houses just in case Slam tries to break through. Just so smart, man. It's just so smart. And Slam, I think, is trying to click up the imp here. Thinking this is going to be an imp battle. Which is maybe his best way back into it. Like trebuchets? Trebuchets would probably change the game. ACCM backing away. And he was prepping himself there, but he wasn't exactly expecting it. And ACCM is not going fast imp. He's actually adding another stable. And getting armor now. So he's going to stay deep in Castle Age here. Here Slam loses his last ship. He no longer has docks. This army from ACCM is still lingering around. And Slam clicks up. Well, okay, so if you had access to knights, you would go full knights here with rams, and you would push this back. But Bengalis don't actually get knights. So they'd have to go, like, elephants to push this castle back. There's a chance here for Slam. It's not a great chance, but, you know, it's like... There's a greater chance that Slam wins this game than you or I winning the lottery if we were to buy a ticket. I don't know if that's a positive. That might be kind of mean. But it's doable. Camel Archer's a really good unit. You've got 7 base attack. Slam can grab Bodkin Arrow in a second. And I guess ACCM's going to try and click up to Imp here as well. But, I mean, ACCM's going to have some problems if there's Trebuchets here. Everything is really close by. I really think that Slam can do this. He needs to snag Bodkin Arrow and Ballistics and still have enough for a Treb. But that's a big difference in the Imp timing, and Slam could drop multiple castles. There is hope for Canada. You're just telling yourself in Slam's position that your score is low because you don't have Navy. That's part of it. Water can really inflate score. 5k rice collected ahead is ACCM. But he's going to lose this castle. And what army is he going to make? You'd almost want skirms, I think. Lycav right now, it's kind of hard to use that mobility properly because Slam is only in one spot. Elephant Archers. Elephant Archers get countered by Camel Archer too in some ways, so that's a worrying unit. Plus, I know he's collected a lot of resources, but that might even be too expensive. I get the logic to think that it doesn't matter what ACCM makes, he could still outproduce, but let's see. Those monks should go down, but how many conversions will happen? It's going to be 1 conversion for ACCM. This is a problem, man. This is a problem. He can't kill these Camel Archers. I'm not just saying it to be positive for Canada. I believe that this is going to be awkward for ACCM. He's going to essentially try and spam full Lycav here. And he's 30 seconds away from Imp. Will he be able to get the Imp upgrades? Man, Slam needs Ballistics right now. What a fight back from Slam, by the way. Slam needs Ballistics. I think he's saving for it, but he also has to make Camel Archers. He also needs to make Trebs. That castle will go down for ACCM. ACCM doesn't know where to build the next one, guys. Like, where do you build the next castle right now? If you can't build it anywhere near your eco because it's going to get Trebbed. He's going to try and make his own Trebs here. He might make one, but I think his castle still goes down. Slam has a chance. Slam has an actual chance. Half population of what ACCM has. ACCM, I think, needs skirms. His castle will just make a Treb. But then the Treb is actually exposed. So, does he even know that he made that thing? Looks like he does. Okay, so best friend for Slam now is your castles. You want to drop the next castle here and use the castle to protect the push. You don't want the armies to be able to collapse on your Trebs and your Camel Archers now. And obviously, ACCM is going to try to do that. Slam is not going to want to deal with any raids either. Your eco is already so much worse. You can't try and put out fires in your base now. You just have to try and ignore this as much as possible. ACCM snagging a relic or trying to. That gets denied. He doesn't have a lot of army here, guys. It's very cramped. This is very messy. ACCM is falling apart. ACCM is falling apart. He is raiding, though. Slam's going to lose Vills. Who cares? The economy sucks anyways. Who cares if we lose a couple more workers? You just got to keep pushing. You just need wood. You just need gold. You need castles if you're Slam. He's actually selling stone so he can just get more Camel Archers. I'm telling you. There's just... ACCM doesn't have the units right now. Slam probably can't believe it. He's like, am I actually winning this game? Like, what's happening right now? Oh, this is big, though. This is big. This you have to respect. And ACCM gets a nice little raid in here on the gold. And he's just waiting. Back here, he's got ranges. He's waiting for the skirms. I think this might be where ACCM can hold the line against the Camel Archers. He's got this enough skirm upgrades where he could be pretty comfortable. If you get to 30 skirms, with good upgrades, then the Camel Archers probably die. This is where I wanted Slam to have a castle, but he never really had the resources for it. Yeah, now Slam was kind of thinking, maybe I can kill off the skirms before they're fully upgraded. And the Light Cav swoop back. And the Camel Archers have to back away. And this is why you should never buy a lottery ticket. Yeah, this is looking over now. It was such a good fight back from Slam. Like, really made it nerve-wracking for ACCM. But these skirms with these upgrades now, and the economy that ACCM has to produce them, it becomes a big problem. And Slam, he won't have any more golds unless he gets back over here, which is going to take a bit of time. And Slam realizes he's dead and taps out and calls the GG. I think Slam was missing another castle right where the Camel Archers are right now. Because imagine if the Trebs could sit there and Treb down everything else. Like, that's where I think even against the skirms, you could be okay. But in the early stages, ACCM was just on top of him. ACCM playing elite. And now, if Canada loses game 3, Canada is out, having not won a single game in this tournament. Again, they were invited based on previous tournament performances. But no Hera for Team Canada this time around. And I mean, Hera would have been so valuable to the team, obviously, as he was in the past. Chris and Slam and Mentalist, maybe not as active as some of these other teams. Vietnam's been playing insane. So I'm hoping we see a better version of Canada soon. But this is pretty much their last chance. There's the stats there. ACCM so far ahead. What a great game from ACCM. Super smooth the whole way through. Really impressive. And I just think, like, looking at it now, I would have loved to have seen Slam do what ACCM was expecting and just try Fast Castle Camel Archers. Yeah, you still lose your fish. Yeah, you fall behind an eco. But guess what? If you get to Camel Archer, you could dominate. Like, we saw how good the Camel Archers were right there. So maybe he didn't feel like the situation was good enough for it, but that's what I would have liked to have seen Slam attempt. Surely would have fallen behind an eco, but at least maybe there would have been Camel Archers out there. So, okay, here we are. Let's see if Canada can get a win. We just had players show up. Apparently, he just left work specifically to play this game. Not sure exactly what happened for Canada. I know they had some other players. It didn't seem like Tigger was in the plans, but he left work. He is here. He's a solid team game player. You might not have heard of him before around 2K, but he is here for Canada. It's Arena now. We got Slam on the flank playing as the Malay. Pocket then is Tigger. Slam and Tigger play a lot of games together. They'll know each other very well. Next pocket is Chris, who's playing as the Slavs. And then the final flank here is Mentalist playing as the Italians. Now, I was wondering, where would Saracens be played? Because I was expecting Saracens to be played on Grand Barra. And then where would Britons be played? I was adding up the civilizations. It almost felt like Vietnam, we're going to use Britons and Saracens here. And that's exactly right. We got Saracens flank here for Hope. I'm just going to change his name again just so you guys know who I'm referring to. Hope, Saracens. Pocket is Say My Name playing as the Khmer. And the teal then, we've got the Georgians for ACCM. And then we've got the Britons flank for Bad Boy. This could be pretty dangerous here for Canada because essentially if it's archers from the flanks, Saracen archers with the Briton production team bonus, so they'll produce very quickly, could bust down some buildings and be very strong. And then the Britons just have more range. If there were a civ that can compete in the flank, it would probably be Malay. And man, these guys are close. These players are really, really close, actually. I don't know. Maybe it's not much closer than it was the other games, but it just, I guess when I'm thinking about Britons, feels very close. Now, there is a chance we could see some sling action here. Like, let's say that Tigger doesn't feel like he can play the meta. The rules is you can send resources to an ally who's in the same age as you or an age below. So in theory, we could have Tigger go to feudal age right before the allies reach castle age, send a bunch of resources. Yeah, we can add the flags again. I think that Burgundians are too good, though. I think you don't want to like waste Burgundian slinging. But I've made videos on it. Italians and Malay combined, receiving some sling and going like sneaky condos could be really strong. But in the videos I've made, they're always slinging up an age. You're not allowed to sling up an age. But that would be a possibility to think about. I just expect kind of standard play from Vietnam. Just archers on the flanks, and then Say My Name and ACCM are just going to boom up like crazy. Georgians and Khmer are insane at that. But so are the Slavs, and so are the Burgundians. So, see how it goes. And I think, you know, Italians are actually the most important civilization long-term here for Canada. Because if they have him on Genoese crossbow can neutralize the elephants and the Manaspa spam from the Georgians and the Khmer. So it's really important that Mentalist has a solid game here. On the flip side, though, I think Bad Boy will be very, or Hope, rather, will be very aggressive here. So we'll see how it goes. It is Arena, so I have now run out of things to talk about. So say what's up if you haven't already, chat. Welcome, everybody. People later on YouTube, maybe a bunch of Canadians, because I've looked at the video stats, and there's a higher percentage of Canadians watching the Canada games. Sorry for the disappointment so far, but hopefully they'll turn it around here. Maybe Tigger's the answer. What's up, Trance? What's up, Wired? Hello, Chris. What's up, Canadian here? Hello, Bob. That's very Canadian of you, Bob. Actually, I think Bob is more of an American name. If you had to pick one. I'm sure there's Bobs everywhere. Why is Manaspa spam not called Mana spam? Well, I never heard of that till now. It might be a little confusing for people. Maybe that's why. So Slam's going up to Feudal Age here. But this is just the boom build. This is not for army or for towers. Wait! Now he's going barracks? Huh? Slam going fast feudal for what? Archers? Is he worried about a forward castle from Bad Boy? Like in 1v1s, it's pretty common to see fast feudal eco upgrades. And if you go fast feudal eco upgrades, you can still have really competitive castle age times and you just have good eco when you're there. The fact he's making a barracks is confusing to me, though. It makes me think that he's worried about some type of play. Tiger says once stable. Or Tigger, sorry. So he's not even on voice with these guys? Or does he not have a mic? We might not see anyone respond in the game. He might just not use... Remember, he doesn't like really play competitive tournaments that frequently. He just ran home from work. Maybe his headset's not set up. I don't know. But I imagine he's probably in the voice call. And Slam just said no. Or yes. One or the other. But that's pretty wild. I do not love the fact that we're seeing archers here. Unless Slam has this master plan to stop a forward castle. Like, there are villagers on stone for Bad Boy. So it could actually work out. We did see this the other day as well. It's kind of like a preventative plan. Remember, it wasn't planned for Tigger to play today. I think whatever... hopefully Survivalist is good. Something clearly happened. I think he was part of the plan. And so then Silver Star probably was like, no, I can't play. I didn't think I was playing. And then they contacted Tigger, and Tigger's like, I'm at work. And he left his job to come here. So he's been thrown into the flames. Thrown to the wolves. Market Blacksmith here from him. Very nice build. Things should be okay. And Market Blacksmith from pretty much everybody, except for Slam. No villagers on stone for Mentalist, so he won't go for an early castle. Obviously, no villagers on stone for Chris. I don't even know why I'm looking. Nothing on stone for Hope. No archer range for Hope. And Slam is probably, like, they're probably going to keep a really close eye on Bad Boy right now. That's what they should do. It looks like all the scouts are converging. And Vietnam have more HP on their scouts. Who is Hope? Hope is Hope. That's his name. I mean, the long name that he will play with is, it's like Thon. Don Quang. I mean, I don't know how to really pronounce it. But he's also known as Hope. He's 2K5. He's really good. I think you'll see a lot more from him over the next year. So the scouts for Slam and team have been pulled away. And they didn't want to let Vietnam in Tigger's walls here. So they can't actually scout to see if there's going to be a forward castle. Now, here's what's funny about that. And from Bad Boy's perspective, you're like, great. They won't see me. Now I can do this. Please don't tell me he can spot the range. Oh, Slam! No! He built the archery range so far forward it could be spotted. Yikes. I think he's waiting for a castle. But now the archery range has been spotted, and now Bad Boy would just build a defensive castle. So. And here comes Slam with the archers. I think he knows he's been spotted. And that's enough already to get Bad Boy to build that defensive castle. It's not going to be horrible to have some archers on the field, per se. He's still going to have a nice castle age time here. He is the melee. But against the longbows, it could be tricky. Bact doesn't play anymore. Bact retired like 2 years ago? Year and a half ago? The last event Bact played was Titans League. It was actually wild. He played Titans League. And shoot, it's been a little while now. We actually have scouts from ACCM. So ACCM was making scouts for map control, so Bad Boy could go forward castle, by the way. That's the only reason for that. But yeah, Bact is like last say in Titans League was crazy. Didn't he relegate MBL? Can someone look that up? Titans League season 2? I think he played a role in MBL getting relegated. And then he's like, yep, I'm a family man now. I'm out of here. And he already was not playing actively. He came back for that season. That was his last hurrah. It was pretty sick. So, pretty boomy game elsewhere. Still kind of curious to see. I mean, it's got to be archers for Hope. It just makes so much sense with the Saracens. You can't always go camels, right? But I don't think doing that against the Italians would make a ton of sense. Longbows will start coming out, and now we see will Bad Boy go for a lot of economy as well. Trant says he beat Draken to relegate MBL by 1 point. That's crazy. And he also 3-0'd MBL. Yeah. Man, some of the TTL drama was just so good, dude. Such a great event. So good for the scene as well, right? Up-and-comers have opportunity. And you get to get a little bit more limelight. The Slam just has this army wandering around right now. He will be outranged by the longbows, but right now he will outmass the longbows. But I would say in the Archer War, this still comes down to the imp timing, probably. Slam has the better economy, but he will have the worst units. Nice activity from Bad Boy. 3 TCs for ACCM. And hold up. We've got coinage here, people. Coinage from Say My Name. So remember the rules. You can only send resources to someone when you're in the same age as them. You cannot send resources up. So you can't be in Castle Age sending resources to someone in Imp. You can't be in Feudal Age sending resources to someone in Castle. But you can go castle to castle. And Bad Boy completes the TC. It would make a lot of sense to send the resources to Bad Boy so he can beat Slam to Imp right now. That's going to have the most benefit. And don't even stop there. I think you go to multiple people, but you got to get one guy up to Imp. And then maybe give ACCM a big boost of resources so he can flood army faster. And he sends Bad Boy the res. Okay. So there's still attacks after coinage, but it's not as extreme. And this gets interesting now. Because if this were natural economy versus natural economy, Slam should have the better imp time, which gives him a chance against the Britons. But now Bad Boy should be able to make it imp faster. He's actually idling his TCs as well. So he stopped all Vil production. This is really smart from Vietnam. This makes so much sense. Now, where you'd be weak is Say My Name isn't going to be able to initially support Hope. But if Slam dies, what on earth is Canada supposed to do? We might actually have a situation where we see flanks for both teams struggle big time here. And this is pretty much just the meta from Canada. We're going to eventually see Tigger come in here with stable play. We're going to eventually see probably full Boyar from Chris. On this side, Mentalist builds a forward outpost just to get a peek at what Hope is doing. Sees a whole lot of nothing in there, by the way. And Mentalist kills the scout. That's funny. But they're never, ever, ever expecting the Britain player to be imp faster. And it's really tough to compete with this now. Because Bad Boy already has more range. Actually, he doesn't have Bodkin just yet. But he'll have ballistics, he'll have more range, so Slam can't take fights. And now there's going to be a forward castle. And Tigger is asking, is it going to be fast Paladin? What's the plan here? I feel like that's always the plan here, so he's definitely going to need it faster than normal now after this pressure. And I would expect a forward castle here from Bad Boy. Like, you know you're about to be imp. A castle right here, starting to tread back Slam would be huge. Slam is not doing anything wrong economically. The only thing that was kind of weird was the archers because it hasn't done anything. But we know why he did it. And we got ranges back here from Hope. Outpost from Mentalist will spot that. So that's nice. That way there's no surprises. But it's full sling to Bad Boy. Like, Bad Boy is going to be... He's going to kill Slam. Slam is going to die. I don't think Tigger's going to have time here, guys. I'm not seeing anything. The only thing that I can really see right now that could work for Canada is Chris and Mentalist killing Hope. Because there won't be support from Say My Name. Now, Say My Name can't send resources per the rules. He's not allowed to send resources to Bad Boy now. He can send resources to other people. So I've seen different things. I've seen someone send res to the next guy. So, like, maybe Say My Name just sends resources to ACCM. But I think now you should know that you actually kind of need Say My Name in the game. He should stop slinging. You've given Bad Boy a good enough spot already. A Slam on the way to imp here. A minute away. But he's lost the front of his base, and he's up against longbows. So the longbows just, they have more range right now. T90, are they not allowed to voice chat on Discord? They are, but Tigger was kind of a last-second replacement, and I don't know the situation. He's most likely doesn't have a mic, but can hear them. Because we're not seeing the others type in chat. Like, Tigger was their 6th player. There was Survivalist and Silver Star listed ahead. So Canada just... I guess they couldn't get their players here. Slam under so much pressure now. The idle time's ridiculous. The unit comp is such an issue. He needs to wait for Paladin from his teammate. And these longbows have 10 range. It'll could get up to 12 as well. And the Trebs have taken out the Siege Workshop. The Trebs are taking out the ranges. The castle goes up on Slam's face. But here comes Canada on this side. So, the weakness of having Say My Name send his resources over to Bad Boy is that now the army is delayed on this side from Say My Name. And Hope is going to be on his own. Slam is going to do his best considering the circumstances. Honestly, Tigger's going to be in a really good spot because he's got Paladin on the way already with the Burgundians. He's got a bunch of stables. He's got great eco. He could maybe help Slam survive. And then you've got Canada knocking on the door on this side. Already pushing Hope back. We have yet to see ACCM with lots of army. in the middle of the map, he's going to mass some castles. And Manaspa produced pretty quickly. They're a really strong unit, so he'll be here. Someone said slam so bad, and then someone responded to him and said really bad take on the situation. Dude, I don't normally call these things out, but I agree. This is not on slam. It's two players' resources to Britain's. He's in a really bad spot. The person he's up against is getting slung, and he's completely out-civved. This is not on slam here. This comes down to the strategy from Vietnam. Slam has to try and hold on and wait for that support. Now, the support's going to be here in 20 seconds. Castle for Bad Boy is going to start to go down. It is now on Mentalist and Chris to kill Hope. Kill somebody over here. With Genoese Crossbowmen and Boyars. And the Paladins are here from Tigger. Here comes Tigger. He might lose his job after this. Let's hope not. But he literally left work early so he could be here. And here he comes. No voice comms. Who cares? He's got 40 Paladins. ACCM isn't here on time. And Slam keeping... Tigger keeping Slam in the game. And the substitute for Canada... top score right now. And now Chris and Mentalist working their way through. It's Elite Battle Elephant for Say My Name. Will that be enough, though, if there's Genoese Crossbow? And I'd say Tigger just needs to ensure that he takes down these castles. I'm concerned that he's going to lose these trebs. These 3 castles for Bad Boy, that's his longbow production. So it's so important for him. But it's also Slam's base. Like, Slam cannot breathe right now. The push continues here for Canada. And ACCM, I think, does need to step it up a little bit with his production of Manaspa. He only has 30 of them. Are they good enough? Against Paladin. Walls get deleted from Slam. He's opening it up just so Tigger can take the fights. Here we go. Why not? I mean, it's only going to get worse against Manaspa. So take the fight. Here goes Tigger again. Slam still only has crossbow back here. But the big fight, and the castle gets cleared up. And Tigger's going to dive on the longbows. Never mind. He backs away. Bombard cannons. Genoese. Boyars. Mentalist is losing his bombard cannons, so that's really heavy losses here. You need to have those bombard cannons taking out the castle. That's going to allow them to stall it out on this side. But there's so much happening. The Treb's still coming forward from Tigger. Tigger, my friends, you got to stay in front of Slam. You got to stay in front of Slam. Maybe that's the lack of experience. Really weird patrol. The units weren't exactly where they needed to be. Remember, Slam doesn't offer as much support because he's still so far behind. He needs to get Arbalest. And the Trebs got sniped, which means that Bad Boy could get his longbow mass higher again. He's had 50 longbows. Yeah, Canada's going to lose this side. Canada's going to lose this side. The setup is too good for Bad Boy and too good for ACCM. But now Canada are pushing in Hope. So right now, Mentalist and Chris are basically saying hold. You don't need to win. Hold your side. As long as you can survive a little bit longer than Hope can, we are good. Because maybe Chris could send some support at some point. The bombard cannons are being protected better than they were before for Mentalist. So he could start to push down this base. The Boyars are in. Hope is going to be out of the game here, guys. But now Slam is going to be out of the game. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is crazy. It might be a 3v3 soon. I think that, the positive for Vietnam is Hope still has a lot of vills. But the negative is those vills are kind of trapped in here. They're not going to be able to escape, really. Slam's going to be in the same spot, though. Slam's not going to be able to escape. So I think what you need right now for either team is you need to assess, can you afford to help somebody? Can ACCM justify going over here to help this side? And can Chris, here he comes with a couple Boyars, can he justify coming over here to help? I think it's tough to judge. I think you have to try and save your side, though. You could tell Say My Name is trying. He's been over here this whole time. Chris just sent a couple units. But, man, Longbow and Manaspa, it's like... It's like the combination of the OP unique units right now. And Slam didn't get any villagers out. He just tried to escape. He didn't get any out. We'll see if Hope can survive. Hope still has some vills in here. Actually, no, this is pretty much all of his vills. And all of his vills could still go down. Longbows are crazy. If you get to 60 of them, they're just crazy. But now we have Chris here with Boyar. So it's Paladin. It's Boyar. Tigger also didn't have Blast Furnace. He's going to snag that now, so that's an upgrade he was missing. But he gets around the longbows. There's not a lot of Manaspa in front. The Manaspa might die to Boyar because Boyar has so much more armor and so much more HP. This is a good fight for Canada. There's still so many more longbows on the way. But considering, that's not too bad. Also here, the Genoese crossbow are wrecking Say My Name. And Chris also got some Boyars into the eco from Say My Name. So, I mean, dude, Hope is just dropping TCs to keep his vills alive at this point, which is hilarious. What a game. The longbows are back. Slam is still keeping some TCs up. He's at 32 vills. But I think Hope, even though he has more vills right now, he's not going to have as many as Slam. Because Slam's not actually actively getting pushed. This area is getting pushed. But Tigger could die. Tigger doesn't have... Like, Burgundy and Paladins just aren't very good at this stage of the game. So he doesn't really have the unit to work with. You see a lot of players are selling resources to get gold right now. Oh boy, Slam might get defeated, actually. Castle's going up. But now, Say My Name could be in trouble. Chat, can we please send a couple salutes out to Hope right now for what he's trying to do here? It's actually crazy. He's dropped so many TCs purely to just be a distraction and keep those vills alive for as long as possible. Slam did escape, by the way. Salutes go to Slam, too. He got some vills out. He won't be defeated this game. Remember what we said. Italians are the most important. And Mentalist has had a crazy game. Just a crazy game. These Genoese crossbowmen, there's no answer to. The only answer would really be the longbows. And I think the longbows are actually going over there to deal with that. I think Vietnam feel like they have a good enough position here where they can just kind of hold. And then they have to go deal with this before this gets worse. Because it is going to get worse. Also, like, Hope is creating bombard cannons. Trying to hold on. Garrisoning the TC. Mentalist is distracted. Ooh, man. The longbows are still so far away. Mentalist can get his castle up. He's got his trebs here. This is so important for Canada. This castle has to go up. And now Slam is being massacred. No! But he was dead anyways. Now Manaspa versus Boyars. The Manaspa are owning the Boyars. Aren't Boyars supposed to just be like a Teutonic Knight on a horse? It's not even close. I mean, I guess there's more Manaspa, but Manaspa are also way cheaper. They did, quote-unquote, nerf the Manaspa recently. But I think it was like one of like 3 changes that maybe needs to be to make the unit not be insanely powerful compared to other units. Population's pretty close. Vietnam's ahead. Vietnam has better fortifications over here. Tigger is probably going to die if they don't find a little bit more power. And the longbows for Bad Boy here with Say My Name, maybe here to hold the line to keep Say My Name in this. And Hope still somehow dropping TCs, like making some random skirms. Like, Hope is still kind of trying. Big fight over here. There's Hussars from a lot of players now because they're running low on gold. But Chris can't afford many more Boyars, and Tigger's going to swoop in to take out some of these Trebs. This fight ends up being pretty good for Canada, but they're losing their push now that the longbows from Bad Boy are here. 85 Genoese for Mentalist. 85 of them. That's ridiculous. Canada holds. But can they regain control? That's what I'm concerned about. Look at all these castles here. It's the same thing for Vietnam, though. Look at all these castles here for Canada. Hope is being such a little pest, and I respect it so much. Because this is a distraction. Now Mentalist has to go back over to try and kill him off again. I don't think Slam necessarily had the opportunities to do the same. It seemed like he was always in a way worse spot because he was up against pressure a lot earlier. Castle will fall for Mentalist. And then he might need to face the music, which are these longbows. Trade starting for Vietnam, by the way. It's not the best trade route ever, but it is some trade as gold is running dry on the map. There's only 11k gold left. And now Tigger's coming in with Hussars. They just want to kill this guy. So annoying. Hussars and longbows. About to dive on Mentalist a little bit. Meanwhile, you still got longbows here. Bad Boys KD is going to be insane. Does anyone remember the Nomad tournament that Dave, Dash, and Bullet and I played in 2 years ago? This is in my Facebook days. We played against Vietnam at one point. Or am I thinking of another tournament? I thought we played against Vietnam, yeah. Getting flashbacks. I think it was Song Song who made like 250 longbows in a game. The Vietnamese love their longbows, 70 of them, and these units just mowing down things from range. The 12 range is crazy. And oh man, Tigger, he needs help, guys. The Manaspa made it through. He's losing his final castle. They're still trying to like kill Hope. I guess finally they're maybe going to do it. But look at the progress now being made from Vietnam on this side. They're slowly pushing back all these fortifications from Mentalist. Ballista Elephants! Oh, they're on top of the Genoese! Oh, this is horrible for Mentalist! No! Oh, he just realized. But he lost so many. The Ballista Elephants wrecking. And probably we're just looking somewhere else. Maybe it was at the raids from ACCM. ACCM's all up in the farms from Chris. I love the stone wall idea. This was smart, but so much army, man. Manaspa everywhere. ACCM's got 100 Manaspa. And the GG's called. And Vietnam stay alive here in SAX Nations Cup. And Canada crash out. Unfortunately for Canada, didn't win a single game. This game was the best of the bunch here today. I mean, all the games are fairly competitive. Game 1, Canada had their chances. Game 2, Canada had their chances. But the call out for me, the thing to immediately recognize, was the recognition that Britons would be the key. I know, like, you kind of know Georgians are going to be the key. They have a free boom, and it's Arena, and it's ACCM. But what you're a little uncertain on is the imp timing when up against the Malay. So the sling was really smart. And again, anyone who's critical of Slam here, I think you're incorrect in the situation. I think it's a bad read. I think that it was always going to be really tough for Slam. He's got someone playing Burgundians in support, and he's up against Britons, and he's up against the Georgians. So it's not necessarily Slam's fault. There was some type of a downside for Vietnam as well, right? Hope got pushed in pretty hard on this side. But what would have happened this game if Say My Name didn't sling and they played it standard? I think Slam has a better chance. And I think that things could have still gone very badly for Vietnam on Hope's side because of the Genoese crossbowman. So it was a really good decision there for Vietnam. And we've seen Sling win. We've seen Sling lose games. But look at the KDs there, man. Manaspa and longbows. So freaking good there. Great performance from ACCM. You want your best player from your country to play every game he can and to play his best level, and that's precisely what ACCM did here for Vietnam. So Vietnam move on. Now, I'll show the bracket real quick. This will obviously show some of the other results that happened yesterday, but you guys should already know that. So Canada's out, right? So rip to Canada. This should mean that Vietnam move into... It's weird. Liquipedia isn't updated for some reason. I don't understand why it's not updated yet. It must be that there must be some like type of a randomization aspect they haven't done yet. But we know that France will be in one of the semis and Brazil will be in one of the semis already. And then Vietnam ends up going third place. So it'll be Vietnam here or here. And then it'll be, Finland or Russia the next series in the other third place spot. And they'll be playing one of the losers. So again, it's probably not set. But basically, Argentina will be up against either Vietnam, or Argentina will be up against Finland or Russia, and then China lost to France. So maybe it's China, Vietnam. Who knows? That makes sense?